Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. Hope you're enjoying the nearish to end of the work week, otherwise known as Tay Thursday, otherwise known as Friday Eve, baby. Hey, look, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can do so by smashing that little beer mug in the bottom right-hand corner. We'd appreciate that. Makes you a subscriber. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I post my next mechanic insight video, tool review, off-road video. We got some other builds coming up that we still have to get back on track to. I was going to head over this evening to the Built Not Bought garage, try to help get a little bit further along with the VW Baja Bug, because John's pulling the engine out of it, and I was going to go over there and help him. Completely forgot. The wife's working tonight, so I had to come home. But that's all right. We're going to try to see if we can't help him get a little further along with some of the projects that he has going on Saturday or maybe even Sunday if we don't have anything else planned here at the house. I don't really have any plans that I know of. Anyways, today's video is going to be a silent toolbox tour, an update of what's going on with my MATCO 4S, because the Hutch officially came in, and my God, does it look good. I am killer stoked to be able to present to you this brief 2-minute silent video tour of the MATCO 4S with my Hutch. Roll it. Still at lunch, had a little bit of time, wanted to show you guys the Hutch as I've got it completely set up. Alright guys, so that is the MATCO 4S silent toolbox tour with Hutch officially installed. I did get the 1/4-inch black shank ratchet finally in with the blue and black handle. The thing looks great, fit perfect in that grid format. But was actually able to use it today. I was working on a Subaru, I had to pull the intake off. I had to fix one of the knock sensor wires that ran along the harness, so it was kind of cool to be able to use that first day use kind of a deal. So I was really happy about that. Love the color concept, love the MATCO ratchets in general. Handles are by far one of my more favorite ratchet handles out there on the market. I know some people don't care for the MATCO ratchets. Even Autobahn Dan said he believed that they slip teeth too often. You know, I really haven't had to gear up any of the MATCO ratchets that I've picked up in the last couple years so far. Used to be I had to warranty them out, or at least get the gears replaced every year-ish, but so far hadn't had that red and black handle one re-geared. I think we've been running it now for a couple years, so been pretty happy with the 40th anniversary and newer MATCO ratchets. Still one of my more favorite comfort grips on the market. That being said, I love this toolbox, not just because of the actual dimensions, the power outlets that it has, but there's so many more things that I do love about this box. Things that I have tool-wise fit almost exactly the way that I would want them laid out. Of course, it would be nice to have more drawer space so I didn't have a drawer just stacked full of loosely tossed wrenches, but I can work around organized chaos. You know, for me, I've been doing it long enough where I don't mind a little chaos in my life. It doesn't make my life any more complex. It might take me an extra couple seconds to thumb through some of the wrenches to get the one that I'm looking for. But other than that, it's been working out great. I did have to pick up an odd size, oversized JobSmart 3/4 inch drive, and I bought a JobSmart 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch step down bit from Tractor Supply. Needed it for a gearbox on a Jeep Gladiator. Pulled the gearbox off where the pinion steering arm comes down off the gearbox. It had a 1 11/16 of an inch was the size that I needed. Go figure, right? 42 millimeter may have fit depending on some of the tolerances with that socket. It was that close, but nobody had one, and the one that we used to have, I guess, just grew legs and walked away. So I took off, Tractor Supply, got the socket I needed, took care of business. It was a learning experience to say the least, but it was pretty cool. All at the same token, never did anything really like major component wise on any of these newer Jeeps that they have out now with the JLs and the Gladiators. So it's cool to be able to start doing some more stuff, because eventually I'm sure I'm going to have to do some stuff to mine. So it's nice to be able to already know what it is that I can expect when I get into it, right? So that's always cool. Some things that I thoroughly enjoy about the MATCO 4S. I love the drawer design. The drawer design fits the tools that I have very nice and neatly. The power drawer, the only thing I would change about that is I would raise that power strip just a little bit to accommodate the MATCO plug-in, which I actually brought back here to the house. Let me show it real quick. All right, so this is the individual single battery charger for the MATCO Cordless 16 volt Infinium lineup. And though it fits the height of the battery being on it, it's when you roll this hot rod over to put it on the power strip on the inside of the box, it's just too tall. And you would figure for a MATCO charger and it being a MATCO toolbox, it would accommodate the other, but it does not. So probably least favorite part about it is that I cannot connect any MATCO charger plug-in into the power drawer. But for this reason, I could not fit really comfortably the snap-on 18 volt in there either. So the snap-on 18 volt I actually have in the Hutch area with the power cord that runs across, which is why the Hutch is so nice to have, because now I've got multi-port, 110 outlet plus dual USB built into the Hutch. That LED light is bright and is fantastic. It really lights up everything around me. So I love that. I can actually see what it is that I'm writing on my ROs. I'm kind of in a dark spot in the shop. So for that, I love having that LED light, man. I mean, I didn't know how I was going to feel about having a Hutch until I actually had the Hutch, if that makes sense. It's still a little bit shorter than I would have liked. Now, this is the tall Hutch. So I'm not sure what the short Hutch is or how much difference that is, but this is the tall Hutch that they had for the MATCO 4S. The only thing that would make the Hutch a little bit taller would be if I was to remove the Hutch and put the middle drawer in, that would raise the height of it. If you were sitting on a stool in front of the MATCO 4S, I think you'll be just fine. If you're standing up and you're 6'1" like myself, you kind of got to crouch down a little bit, but I don't even know if that's completely uncomfortable. I find myself just kind of resting my forehead against the Hutch. I don't know if you guys that are tall do that, But that's what I'll do. I'll just sit there and just kind of rest my forehead against the hutch. So, but no, it's wicked cool, man. I've really enjoyed it. They did give me some little attachments that went on the inside, which I thought was a nice touch. They gave me a little platform. I was able to put my little car up there, my pod for the scan tool that I have, the Zeus. I was also given another little, like a bucket style that I put my cans in now. So the Harbor Freight 2-can one that I had on the side of it, I actually gave that to one of our lube techs, since now I can put all of my cans right there within the hutch that I can just grab and use, and it fits more than just the two, right? So it doesn't take up a lot of space either, really. Next to that, I've got the O'Reilly's little magnetic cup holder, so that's kind of a cool place to put my energy drink out of sight, out of mind, and up and off the work surface, so that's nice too. They gave me another little attachment to hang one specific tool. I don't know what I'm going to hang from it, but I put it next to it. They gave me a screwdriver holder or whatever if I wanted to use it. Really didn't see a need for it. Set it on top of the hutch, was going to bring it home, forgot it. I'm sure at one point down the road, if I ever move that master gear wrench 243-piece set and Capri, Allens, and Torx bit set off of the inside of the hutch, maybe I might use it. I don't know. Right now, I'm completely satisfied and comfortable with the exact layout as it is. Want to give a huge shout out and special thanks to our boy Nick from JDTco. He reached out to me on IG and asked what color of tool holder that I would like to have to go with my career box, right? So I finally reached that point where my career box / retirement box is officially the way that I want it to be, right? I got the LED lights, I got the power strips. The lower power strip for that outer plug that people said they didn't like, I love having that outer plug. And I tell you why. Because I had to vacuum up a lot of rodent debris and I needed a place to plug it in. And I am right next to all of our Wi-Fi stuff, so the clock, time clock, and everything else is all plugged in. I was given one outlet on one side, and about 80 inches down, I got one outlet on the other. So I had enough room for 2 plugins. When the hutch came in, you would think that, oh, you might need 3 plugins. What I did was I ran the bottom 110 cable through the hole into the hutch, plugged it into the power strip of the hutch, plugged the power strip itself into the wall. I've had no issues running it like that. Some people are going to say it should be on its own designated circuit. Guys, the only thing that I would ever use that outer plug for would be to plug in a vacuum. Maybe utilize the USB to charge a cell phone, but there's 2 USBs in the hutch that I use for charging my cell phone, so I don't even know that I'd really use the USB port too much on the outside. But the 110, occasionally, yeah, when I want to plug a vacuum in and roll it up to the car, or a grinder, right? We talked about having grinding wheels or corded sawzalls, things like that, power tools, where you're not chasing around. I have one extension cord that I have my under hood light plugged in. I don't want to rob from that and take away my light, so I leave the light plugged in and I use the front of the box for that. Now we do have this cordless snap-on under hood light that I haven't checked out. I want to check it out over the weekend here at the house. I want to see just truly like how long I can leave it on, charge time, stuff like that. I've got enough 14.4 volt batteries to where it shouldn't be an issue really ever. And it is the cordless option, so I was really happy to pick that up. The Saber 2, I've been utilizing that Saber 2 corded for so long, it's super hard to almost let go, but I think tomorrow might be the day. I actually was thinking about it pretty extensively now that I have the hutch, now that I have everything pretty much set up the way that I want it. I'm thinking about bringing the Saber 2 home for at-home DIY stuff, having the snap-on at work, and now I've got a cordless under hood light. The benefit of having a cordless under hood light is that you're not having a cord drape across someone's fender, and you don't have to wrap it around the side mirror to keep it away from underneath the tire as you're lowering the vehicle down. The downside to having cordless under hood lights, as I previously stated, is really just charge time, because once it dies, how long does it take to charge back up? The SP tool light could be a prime example. If I plugged it in and had it constantly plugged in, it would work. But with the 14.4 platform, I have enough 14.4 volt batteries where I feel like I could just interchange them no problem, and it should not be an issue. Having the Hutch has definitely freed up some space in my power drawer, because now I have my Midtronics tester on top in my Hutch, but on top of the Capri and the gear wrench tool set. I've got the Snap-on 18 and 14 4-volt charger next to the Zeus. The Zeus is out of the drawer, so now I have more room for snacks, right? So that's always a plus, but it's definitely freed up more space. Tools that might take up a little bit more space in that drawer is when I incorporate the 3/8 drive brushless. When that comes in, I think we're guesstimating about 2 or 3 weeks out possibly for that. I told her I wanted to wait for at least one pay period to get kind of caught up on some recent purchases. Then after that, I'd probably go ahead and order it, and then I'm sure it'll take a couple of weeks for it to come in. But yeah, between the cordless ratchets that I have, my Bluetooth speaker, I think we're covered. The only thing that I would say is that I am probably going to have to get another one of those 18-volt batteries for the 18-volt brush line, because when I go to the 3/8 brushless, obviously I'm going to need a battery for that. 2 batteries I feel is sufficient. One for the 3/8, one for the 1/2 inch. I don't feel like you can get away with using one over the other. And then of course I've got air as an option as well. Now I did trade in my 3/8 Air MG 325 that I've had for about a decade. I did have it repaired once a couple years back and really didn't use it after I went cordless. So I decided to trade that hot rod in. Maybe somebody locally will want to buy it, pick it up, or whatever they end up picking it up for. I'm sure I'll get the credit to go towards future purchases. I also traded in a couple of other Snap-on things that I really just didn't have a need for. And so if Garrett's able to sell them, the used tool thing, that might be a thing. One of the tools that I am going to be selling, but I'm waiting to find the bag for, is going to be my old Snap-on multimeter. I need to find the bag and the instruction booklet for that, but I will be selling that. He's already kind of given me a price of how much it's worth to how much he thinks we can get. So we'll play it by ear. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for my silent video tour of the MATCO 4S. My thoughts and opinions as far as the actual layout, my likes and dislikes, and some other things that I've been thinking about moving forward. Hope you guys enjoyed today's content. If you did, smash a thumbs up on your way out the door, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers to those of you that have your beers, and deuces.